Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Brookstone Coach Show. We're actually coming to you virtually as we have got the Brookstone head football coach, Ian Headley. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the 19-14 victory over your rival, Pacelli. What did you learn about your team and a hard-fought game that went down to the wire and your team being able to make the plays that matter to secure the win?
They're a resilient group. They're a tough group. They don't want to lose. We knew, how important this game was, not only for the jug, but just to continue on our goal.
Yeah, Coach, being a part of the Brookstone-Pacelli rivalry, you were able, here in your first year, Pacelli also has a first-year head coach, Smeedy Grider, so it's really something special, and I know that it is special that the campus of Brookstone is keeping the jug at least for one more year. But I was watching the game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and it was a hard-fought game. Pacelli had a 14-13 lead with the ball. And how about Savon Kelly? How big of a play was that for Savon to step up and to get that defensive touchdown to put you guys up front for good?
It was big. I think, we got Savon late, so this is really like his first year really playing like that. So, every game we've been seeing him improve every game. So, you know, I still think there's a lot more room for him to get better. So we're just this is just kind of a byproduct of just his raw athletic skill set.
Coach, let's talk about your quarterback, Broughton Branch, who has been consistent all year. He is a returning starter. How important is that for him to learn the playbook, to have a good relationship with his receivers and backs, and to get prepared for game time as far when it comes to practice and preparing for the next opponent?
It's super important. I think Broughton is a very, very competitive kid, and he makes our offense better. So just having him and just having his experience, just having his leadership, his that attitude, I think it's really helping us. I think the couple teams that we've been trying to, we've been playing lately, they've been, trying to do some different things to kind of, confuse him or just take some things that we like to do away. And, I think he's doing a really good job of just going to other places with the ball and just being a really good athlete.
Coach, I want to talk about your defense because Harrison Baker has been your leading tackler. He was able to actually get a touchdown on senior night, which was very special for him. Also having A.J. Hayes there, really just Mike linebackers that can be in on just about every play. Just talk about what makes A.J. Hayes and Harrison Baker so special, anchoring that defense that held Pacelli to just 14 points, and they've just been playing outstanding all year.
Again, man, he's a competitor. He brings it every day. AJ is also a competitor, and he's very, very cerebral. He's probably one of the smartest football players that I've been around. He can dissect, something in no time. And, I think only having, two returning starters on that defense, everybody else being young, for us to be playing the way we are, it's a credit to our coaches, our defensive coaches, and two, it's a credit to just the guys and the mental makeup of those guys on that side of the ball. So, headlined by Harrison and AJ and also MJ as well. So when you got those guys leading and, they're leading by example, they're doing things the right way, it makes it easier for those young guys to fall in line.
That's exactly right, Coach. And also your special teams has been clutch. Talk about your kicker, Jimmy Hunter, and what does it mean to have a clutch kicker like that to be able to kick a field goal in clutch when it matters the most?
Well, the biggest thing on Friday was just getting points. And I knew if we couldn't score, I knew that, I knew we could get three. some way, somehow. So, kind of just having him. I mean, there's been a couple games we had to kick field goals or kind of whatever the case, but just him being as consistent as he is with the touchbacks, with the punts. FPD game, he punted. I think they got to stop. We punted. He pinned him inside their one. We got to fumble the next play. So
Hmm.
he's an extension of the offense and he's an extension of the defense. So, college coaches, if you hear me, man, you need to come get this kid because he is elite. And he'll make your program better, Jimmy Hunter. So again, just going back, I think again he's experienced. He's been in these situations before. Um, and when we needed it was fourth down. It was like a 46-yard field goal. I didn't think twice about it. Um, hell, I'll go from 56. I'm that confident in him.
Absolutely, Coach. Yeah, he's definitely a special kicker. You're having a special season so far. 7-1, 2-0 in region play. What are some of the goals that, as you get ready to wrap up the season? There's 2 games left on the schedule. I know you got to face one opponent at a time, but you do have a big game on the road in Perry taking on Westfield School. What are you looking forward to about this matchup with Westfield School? Have you been able to see them when they faced Calvary this past week? Because they came to Columbus and they got a narrow victory over Calvary Christian, 24-23. Have you been able to chance to scout Westfield and what type of matchup are we looking forward to Friday night?
Yeah, I was able to. I watched that Calvary game. I've been watching it all week. I actually watched it this morning. Um, it's an important game for us. One, because it's a region game. I mean, we lost to Westfield last year, and I think this might decide the regional championship. So, we're locked in. We're ready to go. So obviously, one of our goals is to win our region. So we're gonna have that opportunity on Friday, and then our other goal is to go undefeated at home. So then we'll have that opportunity next week. So, I think as long as we kind of just keep the main thing, and we play how I know we can, and again we stay locked in. I don't. I don't see anything kind of getting in our way or stopping us really. And that's kind of how it's been like all year. Like, Stratford, they got after us pretty good, but there was a lot of things that we didn't do right. So even against Pacelli, man, we were doing things to kind of beat ourselves offensively. So defense was phenomenal. But, I think as long as we just continue to just work on us, stay focused on us, and that's kind of the big thing is really not anybody about anybody else. It's about us. It's about Brookstone just being the best version of ourselves every time we step on the field, competing hard, and we know that we're gonna get everybody's best shot. So we're not even looking at records anymore. We know we could throw that out. Everybody's gonna come in here trying to swing. So we just got to be ready for it.
Yeah, no question about it. Brookstone is currently ranked second in the GIAA behind Stratford Academy, and they will close out the regular season at Max Strong Stadium on October 24th against Strong Rock, another good regional opponent. And, Coach, as you get ready for these next 2 opponents and you focus on the postseason, I know that the first round of the GIAA playoffs are on October 31st. The 10 seed plays the 7 seed, the 8 plays the 9. So it's looking like you're going to end up getting a bye. Do you like having a bye in the first round of the playoffs, or you want to try to play that first round? Because it seems like if you're playing great, you just want to keep that momentum. But is the bye beneficial, especially getting players rested and getting prepared for that second round playoff game? If you are either the 1, the 2, the 3, the top 6 seeds get a bye, and so it's looking like you're going to be playing in that second round of the GIAA playoffs.
Yeah, I think for us, the big thing is just making sure we're healthy. When we had our bye week, a week, 2 weeks ago, we didn't practice. It was all just everybody go to treatment. I mean, we were really banged up, and I think the style of football that we play, we're a physical team, so yeah, practice is good, but for us, just being healthy and being fresh is even more important. And kind of when I took the job, that was my first question: is why didn't you guys win the state title last year? And all the kids are like, Coach, man, we were banged up, we were tired, we were beat up. So just kind of gauging that. Obviously, we get the bye, we'll still get some practice in, but just having these guys fresh. We got an amazing athletic trainer. He's Stephen Buckley. He's phenomenal with what he does. So just kind of getting those guys in there, getting the little nicks and boo boos, and how we look at it is it's our second season. So if we're blessed enough to get the bye, then we'll have 2 games until the state game, and then you include that's 3 games. So my biggest thing is just staying fresh and healthy for 3 weeks. If we're blessed and to get that opportunity.
Yeah, there's no question about it. We're hoping that you're able to get at least 2 home games in the playoffs, and 1 seed, 2 seed, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're both going to Macon. That's going to be November the 22nd. I know that's the ultimate goal, Coach, is to get to Mercer University to play in that GIAA 4A state championship. My final question to you, Coach, is talk about some of your coaching staff. Who are the people that are in the trenches with you that are working daily with these practices, and what are some of their specialties? And I know that this is a new staff, so just the floor is yours. Just talk about just everybody on your coaching staff and what are their role on the team.
I think we all work really good together. We kind of bounce ideas off the wall. Like one of my things in the summer was let's not have any egos. Let's just all work together. So I'll start with Coach Farmer. He's our defensive coordinator, and he does our strength coach, and he does our special teams also. And he does a really good job with those guys in the weight room, and I think it starts there. He's got a plan with those guys. They're disciplined. They're locked in. And, they love what he does. He has a great program. The kids respond to it. And then as far as coaching wise, like I don't worry because I know we're prepared. Him and Coach Bobby Howard and Lyndon Kilcrease, those guys on the defense side of the ball, we all kind of work together. It's like Coach Farmer texted me today. He's like, hey, can we get a little screen period in today? Can we get this in today? And that's kind of how it's been all year. Is whatever we see that needs to get fixed, we're gonna address it. Nobody's bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than the next guy. We're all kind of in this together. On the offensive side of the ball, Jason Armstrong, he's been phenomenal with our offensive line. I think those guys have been playing great all year, which is leading to Broughton having the success that he's having in our backs and our skill guys. So, Coach Sam Lord, he's coaching our receivers. Just another guy who's all in, willing to do all the dirty work. Coach Wayne, he helps with the offense and the defense, same thing. And Coach Jones, he coaches our running back. So, for top to bottom, one of my things is we got to coach every rep, and we're doing that. Our kids are prepared. We go into every game knowing that we're prepared. We got a really good plan in place, and again, we all work together. So, if I'm not able to do something, and another coach will pick up the slack. If they can't do it, then I'll do it. So it's just really been great. We all just kind of feed off each other.
Well, good luck, Coach, this Friday against Westfield School. And by the way, this game is going to be live streamed on Georgia Alabama Sports Live as we are teaming up with the Middle Georgia Sports Network. We want to thank Brett Taylor for taking the feed and allowing that to be put on our platform so people back home, if they can't make it out to Perry, they'll be able to watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Sweet, man, sweet. That's what's up, man. Thank you guys for all you do for our kids and for the city of Columbus and Alabama as well. Thank you guys.
Absolutely. It's Coach Ian Headley of the Brookstone Cougars. Thank you for watching the Brookstone Coaches Show, and we will see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Go Cougars. Thank you.